Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'm a little scared because I'm going to react to what do other countries think about Americans. These can go either way. Well, usually they go one way. Not good. Not good for me, the American. You know what I mean? I'd say 75% of the time, they have nothing nice to say 100% of the time. You know what I'm trying to say. Go check out her channel, link down below, Jana Cottison. Cool name. Link down below. All right, I'm ready.
Hey everyone, so I was living in Prague for 3 months, and while I was abroad, I heard a lot of opinions on how Americans are perceived.
Prague, okay. I've never heard what they have to say about Americans.
So I spent one day and I walked around the Naplavka, or the river in Prague, and asked people, what do you think Americans' personalities are like? And I was a little scared to hear their responses.
What are our personalities like? Okay, that's a little more specific.
But here is some of what they said.
So what do you think of Americans? I've known a fair few Americans in my time through like exchange at uni and that kind of thing.
Okay.
I think they're very friendly people. I think they're very lovely. I think they lack geographical knowledge.
You always got to start out with a little compliment, you know what I mean? Before. That's the polite thing to do. Okay, lack geographical knowledge. Facts.
That's fair. Like overall, like they have like a really like rich understanding of like their own country and their own geography, which I think like as
You know what? I'm a really weird American. Maybe I think I actually know Europe better as far as like the countries, labeling them. Well, I don't know. It's almost equal. Like I'm not good at labeling the states. The one like be honest, I just don't really care. Is that weird?
Australian, like I probably lack more so than
Like I could probably get, 80 90% of them, but I'm not going to get 50 out of 50 probably. I'd be like,
in America. So by comparison, I think they do really well in that part. Yeah, I just think that they're generally friendly. Maybe like sometimes I think they're loud. I don't know if that's like an opinion that is okay, but yeah, I think overall like they're just like friendly people. Like they'll always talk to you, they'll always try to have a conversation and that kind of thing.
With the ones I know personally, I have always had a good connection, I think. Generally friendly, and yeah, I never had a problem or I never thought anything bad.
This girl has never thought anything bad about Americans. Let's go! She probably just doesn't think about Americans very much.
I think what is a common common opinion of Europeans, that they're kind of shallow, because like you're at the first time you're really super friendly.
I need to turn off these captions. They're actually messing me up because they're wrong.
And everything, and for Europeans, like, yeah, we're friends, though, and then it's not like it. So maybe that's the only issue that the Europeans are having sometimes with the Americans. It's just in terms of the friendship, where the friendship starts, and what is the definition of the friendship.
So what do you think of Americans?
I think that they live in a different world.
How so?
I think that, like,
Different part of the world.
when we go to supermarket, we are buying so many healthy food, and they go to supermarket. Like I've been to Florida, and we've been to supermarket, and I saw a family which was buying like all the kinds of unhealthy food.
You know what? I happen to be thinking about that today, and I was thinking, over here in America, going to the supermarket is usually like a once a week or once every 2 week type of ordeal where you go and you buy a ton of stuff to last you. Like a huge amount of food. You get it all packed in the cart, and then you pack it into the trunk of your SUV and you drive it back home. And when you do that, like you think about the kind of food that's going to last you 2 weeks. It's usually not healthy. Like most organic good food goes bad within like 5 days. So I think Europeans take more frequent trips to the supermarket, like on their bicycle or walking. And They get a smaller amount of food. They just go a little more often. I think that's one reason why Americans buy more crap at the supermarket.
And that was crazy.
What do you guys think of Americans?
Be honest.
Honest opinion.
Honest
That was cool.
opinion. Well, I think they're pretty patriotic, if you can say so.
Patriotic, yeah.
Patriotic, yeah.
I always think that's interesting because it's kind of like half and half. Like, honestly, half of Americans hate America and half of Americans are patriotic.
But otherwise, I also think they're pretty open-minded
I
and
think it used to be more true, like, I don't know, 60 years ago, that Americans were more universally like, yeah, America.
can be really nice, but I think it depends on which part, I guess.
They're way too excited about stuff.
What do you think of Americans, like their personality?
They have more open mind than our people. Like
What way?
they are more nice and they can normally speak with you on the street. Like if you don't know each other, if you start with someone speak here, they start staring on you like if you are crazy. So I like this.
What do you think of Americans?
Okay, standard kind of opinion. You know, Americans are a little bit more outgoing. I've heard that many times.
American. So, my opinion definitely changed because I've been living there for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
But before I went there, I thought Americans are fat. That was the first thing. I thought they're lazy and they eat fast food all the
And what made you want to go live there? But okay, all right.
time. I knew that. Then
There's some truth to that.
after like living there 5 years, I know that Americans are not all of them are fat, but there's like big extremes. Like you get people that
Plenty of
are
variety.
super fit and then super obese, like 300 kilos, like 600 pounds. So there's big extremes. I think that's why everyone thinks they're fat.
Yeah.
I think that is so true. Like, honestly, it's like what he said. There are people who, we probably have the fattest people in the world, and then also there's people that are like unbelievably almost too extreme, like organic only, like they're like reading every single thing, looking into every single thing, like they're on these extreme diets to try to be like almost unnaturally healthy. If that even is a thing. But it definitely different extremes here in America.
And they're definitely more open-minded. I know that now. Before I had no idea. Honestly, I didn't know anything. I just from what I've heard from TV, I thought they're fat. They smoke cigarettes all the time and they're lazy.
Smoke cigarettes. I've never heard that one. That, I guess, is another kind of like old stereotype. You know, it kind of feels like some of the stereotypes are a little bit outdated now because people don't smoke cigarettes very much here in America. I mean, yeah, some people smoke, but it's just not. It's gotten so much less as the decades have come and gone.
But no, there's people same like here. People are same everywhere.
We all are the same species after all. I guess that makes some sense.
What do you think of Americans?
Well, America is a really nice country, and there are people I think are nice too, but sorry, Britain is better.
I think that the Americans
That was awesome.
are really friendly and open, because I met a lot of people and they were just, hi, how are you? Tell me something. And it was really nice because I think that the Czech people are not so open. It's like shy, they are more shyer, I think so. But I think, I don't want to be rude or something, that they are a little bit pretending, but I don't think it's like my own opinion. But
Some are, some not. Some are not. You know, I know some people that are like that to the extreme, and they are not pretending. They really are just, that's them. You know what I mean? That is them. They wholeheartedly are just that in love with socializing with random people.
But my friend told me that he was in America for 1 year, and he told me that every people were, hi, how are you? And then walk away. It just, I don't care. I just say, oh, how are you? And then walk away and I don't care.
That could definitely be like a bad impression, huh? Because saying how are you is actually, depending on where you're at in the country, it's just a way of saying hello. You know, how are you? Other places in the country, it's more so like you're actually saying how are you? You're waiting for a response. Good, you know, whatever, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it definitely can mean that anywhere in the country. But there are places where that is like the most common greeting, where it's just like, hi, how are you? And I'm gone.
So that's my opinion.
I think exactly the same. They are very very nice people. Seems very friendly, but no nothing bad.
The Americans had cool candies.
It is very hard.
I love to hear random little things like that. Cool candies. I guess that's the silver lining of all the processed, you know, pretty unhealthy food. An abundance of unhealthy food. And of course, I've seen people say, you know, the selection at the American grocery market is ridiculously large. And that is for sure true in the candy aisle. There is something for every sweet tooth in the American candy aisle. Yeah, the candy is good. The candy is good. It's not good for you, but it is good.
To have one particular opinion on Americans, because the America, it's very big state, or it's United States of America, so a lot of people, big variety. Probably there are people in the north part that are cold as the weather, and warm people in the south. So it should be really...
That's kind of interesting. I've never heard someone say it like that. It's kind of like people are like in tune with the weather. You know what I mean? Colder people live up north. That actually is kind of how it seems.
A lot of faces, a lot of different characters, so it's hard to describe American people.
Okay, so what
That guy was awesome. Very well spoken.
do you think of Americans, honestly?
Very, very pretentious. I'm very sorry.
Why do you think that?
It's just...
You know, it's a little bit ironic that I just have to say is that right there felt a little pretentious to me. I'm just saying. But with that said, of course I acknowledge there are plenty of very pretentious Americans.
I'm very sorry.
Why do you think that?
It's just the way... I know I sound very English, but like the way you sound, it's just like, oh my god. I'm so sorry. But my best friend's like, one of my best friends from New York, and she does sound like that.
Yeah. So what do you think of Americans? The person answering this question has her representative here for us.
Můj strejda je Čech, žijící 20...
What the hell is going on? I'm sorry, what?
Můj strejda je Čech, žijící 20 let v Americe a má tím pádem oba dva pohledy na
Does this guy need help? Has he been kidnapped?
Psychiku člověka. Americkou a českou. Americkou shledává jako pozitivní a přímou.
Direct. I've heard people say the opposite. You know, Americans aren't direct. They'll be afraid to like offend you, and so they won't be as direct. Czech people are creative and deep. I could see that. I think that the deepness of people can often coincide with the deepness of their culture somehow, some way. You know what I mean? And American culture is just younger, and so it's not as deep.
A českou jako kreativní a hlubokomyslnou.
So what do you think of Americans? Český je dobře.
Mají dobrý auta.
Good cars, okay. I'm surprised I haven't really heard anybody talk about the cars much. The cars themselves. Okay.
Living in their world is kinda bubble, you know? It's like they're they don't know about other world, you know.
Yeah. What do you think of Americans?
Amerika má hrozně pěkný holky.
She's red, look at it.
So those of you
Wow.
who know my channel know that I have a fascination with other cultures. I am currently in Los Angeles.
Those are great interviews. Go check out her channel. That was really awesome. It's always funny hearing opinions, especially the negative ones. In USA, hey, how are you is a greeting. Yep. The one girl thought Florida was normal America. Woman, like, I've been to Florida, every non-Floridan American. Oh no. Yeah, Florida can be hit or miss. I like Florida, but it seems like that's where all the psychotic people live. So, interesting state. That was fun. Not too bad. You know what I mean? Not too bad. Okay. I got through it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.